So this time around we want to set up search functionality and allow the end user to filter the list of movie based upon the title. And we're going to do that obviously first of all in our back end. And that means we're going to add in our fields, in our schema definition, we already have movie and we have list. We're going to add another one for search. And right away I start to think about the route that I'm using to access this functionality. Let's look at our routes file. Right now, we have here on line 25 in my code, we're listening to /v1/graphql/list. I'm going to get rid of that list part and just change this to graphql because /list is actually not meaningful. The directive as to what we want to do, what kind of content we want to get back, is actually part of our payload. So I've just modified my route, and I'm going to stop my backend application and clear the screen, and I won't start it yet because we have more work to do. So we'll have to remember to change the front end, change the URL we're calling, and that's pretty straightforward. So let's go back to graphql.go, and I'm going to add a new function here, a new action, which I'll call search. And just like the other two, it has to be ampersand graphql-field, and we describe what it's going to consist of. And I'll put my closing comma there so I don't forget. So first of all, type, just like the rest of them, is GraphQL, and we're going to get, not a Boolean, a new list, because we're getting more than one potential movie here. And its argument is movie type, just like the one where we're getting the list of all movies. And then we give it a description, which I'll call search movies by title. And here we have to have arguments, because we are passing arguments for this particular one. And the arguments are a GraphQL dot field config argument. And again, that's just a struct and we have to describe its contents. So we're going to, and this is what we're going to be passing as part of our payload, title contains, which makes sense because we're going to be searching by the characters in the title. And its type is ampersand GraphQL, argument config, and its type is GraphQL string. So we're searching strings. We're searching a character or one or more characters. And then we have its resolver. So down here, right there, comma, resolve. What does this resolve to? It resolves to a function which takes params. We're resolving the parameters. GraphQL.resolve params. And it returns interface and potentially an error. Okay, and we need a comma there. And inside of this, let's create a variable to hold the results of our search. Var the list, and it's a slice of pointer to models.movie. So this variable will be populated with the results of our search. And now we're going to get two arguments here, or two variables, search and OK. And that will be assigned the value of params.args, and in square brackets we're looking for the key of title contains, and we're casting that to a string. So now we've got our parameter, what we're searching for, and that will be whatever the end user types into the search box on the front end. And then we see if OK. If OK, then we have something to search through. So we'll just do a for loop. For, and we'll ignore the index, and we'll call the current iteration current movie. You can call it whatever you want, but I'm going to call it current movie. And that comes from ranging through movies, our list of all movies. And we just have a simple if statement here. If, and I'll use the strings package, strings.contains, and we're looking for current movie dot title, and our search term, what we're looking for, is stored in the variable search. If the string, the current title of the current movie, contains the characters we're searching for, then just add that to the list. So I'll just put a log print line in here so you can see how it works. Log.println, found one, and then I'll just append to the list is equal to append the list, and we're appending current movie. And finally, outside of this if statement, we just return the list and nil. And that gives us another action we can perform with our GraphQL query. So if this compiles, let's make sure it does. Go run ./cmd/API. Looks good. So the next step is to go to the front end and change what we have there, or at least add to it, to actually access this particular GraphQL query. And we'll take care of that in the next lecture.